In that last video, I talked about how we're going to have a whole module devoted to incremental loading. But I did want to take a minute or so to talk about it and show you an example of what that would look like. So let's take a look. In your book, you'll find in listing 6.3, I have an example of what some very, very basic incremental loading might look like. The idea is that you compare the values between the source and destination tables, and then you either add values to the table that are missing or subtract values that shouldn't be there, or maybe even update values that have changed since the last time you ran the ETL process. So I wrote some simple code here. Let's take a look. Here's an example of a customers table and a dimension version of that, the dim customers table. And you'll notice that I've planned ahead for incremental loading by including a row status. Now this means that somebody has to think about this and plan ahead. But then I went ahead and when I insert my data, I just add on a status flag. This is a flag here. So inserting this data will be flagged as an insert. If I look at the tables, I can see that yes, they are out of sync, but I can go ahead and synchronize them by beginning a transaction and inserting data where there is a row in customers that doesn't exist in the data warehouse table, dim customers. And I could do the update, and I could do a delete the same way. So by running this code, it would synchronize. Now right now it copied over a couple of rows. If I run it again, it doesn't need to copy any more rows because I've already got them synchronized. You notice that I'm going through and setting the customer row status to null so that the next time it comes through, it's not I or U or D, it's just null. Looking at the customers table again, you can see that the status is null. Now if somebody goes through and updates like Robert Smith instead of Bob Smith, or deletes a row like Sue Jones is being deleted, now again my tables are out of sync. I just have to run the code and it will synchronize them. Now, of course, I'd want to automate this process. I want to set it up so that it would run at night or every 5 minutes for that matter, it doesn't really matter, and have it go through this simple extracting, transforming, and loading process. Notice that I didn't actually delete the value from the table. I just flagged it as being deleted. Often that's a better choice. But another choice would be to go through and put this code, this complex code, inside of a stored procedure. We'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of the module. But hopefully that gives you kind of a basic understanding of what incremental loading would look like. There are better ways of doing it than what I just showed here. But certainly it's a very workable way of doing it if somebody had planned ahead and designed their original source table accordingly. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.